Welcome to Straight Talk Sacred Pathway. I'm Stuart Wellborn, a British author and former therapist, and each week I sit down with one Anichi, a spiritual elder from Turtle Island, to explore the deeper truths behind healing, ceremony, and connection to Source. What I thought would be an interesting thing to talk about, whether anybody joins us live or not, is one Anichi. You talk about when we die, we go home, yeah?
Yep.
What is it that goes home? Because I know you don't like the word spirit, so there's obviously the body, which is the meat sack that we occupy. The mind has many functions like sensations and has all the thoughts, but then there's the higher self, the spirit, or whatever.
Well, the first concept that people have to understand is there is no thing as death. We don't die. Our body just basically goes back to Mother Earth. So when we look at it, it's like the mind itself goes. It no longer exists because when you talk to people after death experiences, all they ever felt was love, and the love basically came from the heart, not the mind. So the real connection basically again is the life force energy. And when we basically, as we say, pass on, we say ascend. Now, when we ascend, there are three things that can happen. Number one, you can be placed in a holding cell and being basically, the word I like to use is recycled. So you end up coming back to Earth again to try to correct or find the things that you needed to find when you were here. The second thing is that you actually go through the doorway. Like they always say, there's a light, that they go towards the light. It's like a tunnel. But they never go out of the tunnel because they're not meant to go yet. That's why they have the afterlife experience and they're sent back into their body. If you go to the end of the tunnel and you go through, then you've actually made it to the source of the power. And you don't have to return anymore. And then there's a fourth one that basically, if your energy is so bad that your energy doesn't go to the tunnel, it goes someplace else, and your energy itself dissipates. Or you, like I said, if you weren't that bad, you put in recycling and you come back to see if you will correct what you did wrong in the prior life. So when you ascend, you become energy. Whether you want to call the energy a light or anything, it's just anything. But when you're in energy form, remember, you can take any form you want. You can become anything that you want because now you're in the energy world and energy can basically take any shape and form it wants to. So that's when you reach the source of the power. That's when your life force energy becomes part of the energy itself. And the way I always explain it to people, there's 144,000 points of light, or simple candles. Your energy belongs to one of those candles. So if you make it, you go to that particular candle and you become that energy, which is part of the whole, which is the whole source of where the power is. And that's when basically you make it.
So, you've said before that when you do move on, then the people may be waiting for you then, like your pets or your family and all that. Is that right?
Wait, what? Yeah.
When you pass on, family, friends, pets, are they waiting for you? I'm sure you
Yep.
could. Yeah. So what is it? Hmm?
They're part of the whole of the energy itself, and that they're of your connection. So what they do is when you go, they meet you, they greet you. The first thing they do is when they greet you is that once you see all of them, guess what? You feel comfortable because you recognize people that you missed. You're running into people that you loved. So all of a sudden everything's okay. So now you're ready to move on.
Now, when you say that you recognise them, You're not going to see them as people. You'll just recognize their energy then?
Well, the energy again, remember, can take any shape and form it wants. So again, it'll take the shape of the people that you once loved when you were on Earth and they were on Earth. And you'll see them because if you see a ball of light, I mean, you might not understand it, but the minute you see the form of who they are, all of a sudden, wow, you're overcome with joy and everything. And then all of a sudden, you understand and you get to the next level, which is you become energy, become part of the energy, part of the whole.
Right. So I'm trying to formulate my question here. So we have mind, which is consciousness, or the mind is within consciousness, shall we say. So consciousness is like an awareness, you could say, or awareness is within consciousness of a certain scale or whatever. When you pass on then, that awareness, does it forget everything from, your life? Because mind remembers things. It's hard for me to try and get my question here, but, it's part of the mind's function to remember things, but we forget things all the time. So when that awareness moves on, because you've got to be aware of seeing the light, or aware of seeing energy sources, or aware that you're about to be obliterated because you were a bad person. What is that awareness?
When you look at the way our bodies are, remember that the top of the head, the top energy is spirit, is your energy. From the energy comes the mind. From the mind comes the body. So again, you still sit, and I don't know the way I want to explain it. You don't have to use the mind anymore because everything is revealed, and it's right in front of you. So you don't have to think about things; it's there. So you just naturally accept everything as part of the whole. You brought up a real good. I don't know, something flashed back. I was sitting there thinking about, okay, the star people. When they came to Earth, and the Indigenous people are part of the star people collection, I was saying, well, if the star people came and you were sitting there and you were back in time, and the star people came in a ship and they took form and they start teaching you, would you not look at them as a god? So the question's been bugging me. And then the answer that came to me, well, he said, if the energy, the life force energy didn't exist, why are there spirits? And why can you see those spirits after they've gone? It's a reality. So somewhere along the line, there has to be some kind of a connection that we always talk about, the source of the power, where you ascend to. And if you're not ready to ascend, or you refuse to ascend, then you become trapped upon the earth itself, and you become walking spirits.
During that transition then, that was where I was trying to go with. Do you forget, because ego is supposedly dissolved, what we consider ourselves to be, who we are, is mostly ego function, and then there's the higher self. So as that ego dissolves, as you go into the other side, do you remember being that ego?
No, because again, when you go and ascend, all ego is gone. And that basically you accept there's so much love that why have ego?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, because they fear death, don't they? And some people fear it because they think they may go to hell and be punished. Other people fear non-existence. So the dissolving of the ego, what makes you know you're still you then, as such? What switches? Because at this point, I know I'm Stuart when I'm sitting talking to one and Ichi, but that will all disappear when I pass on. How does that transition work from me going, I'm a bearded Nosferatu, and like now I'm just energy.
Yeah. There's different parts of us that basically on Earth that we exist with. Now, you have to understand that society itself, in order for them to control, they have to put certain type of teaching, certain type of feelings, certain type of propaganda into your brain so that they can control it. So one of the things that they do is ego. I mean, you turn on the TV and the programs that are on there, the commercials that are on there are geared to one thing. This is how you can make money. So no matter what you do, everything is based on the fact that they start to convince you the only way you can be happy in life is to have a lot of money. So you go out, you buy 7 cars. Well, how in the hell can you use 7 cars at one time?
I think it's a little bit different to that. It's not about making money, it's about you spending your money. It's your
Yeah,
life will not be great until you buy our product. That's what you're bombarded with.
yeah. It's like I always tell one of the ways I explain to people, okay, you have money and you love steaks. So you go out and every day you eat a T-bone steak. So how long before you get tired of T-bone steak? So we have to basically, every time we turn around, we have to find some kind of excuse so that we can spend on money on something else that says that'll make you happy.
Oh yeah, it's a never-ending thing, isn't it? Because you'll if you're looking for a happiness outside yourself, you're never going to find it.
Yeah, because once we get it, we get bored with it. So we have to find someone else that catalyzes, into the next phase of it. When in reality, some of the most happiest things in the world are free. You find somebody that you really care about and you really love. You don't buy that love. That love is given to you freely, and it makes you feel good. And it doesn't, no amount of money can buy that. It's like the Beatles, right? Money can't buy you love.
And all you need is love.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we slightly diverge because I'm trying to get really deep on this. Is the moment the ego dissolves as you pass on? What kind of experience is that then?
Well, because you don't have no need for anything.
No, but how the awareness part? Like I'm aware that my dog sat there, that no one's joined us live on this monitor. I'm talking to you, so that's awareness, is what I'm saying. When you go to being part of the light, going to whatever, and switching from ego to higher self completely, what is that process like? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, like you say, when your ego to me is a mental thing. So when you go in there, it's like saying, okay, when you're on the earth and you have a Rolls Royce, you use that Rolls Royce to get from A to B. Well, when you're in the energy world, because you're energy, you can go any place you want without having a car. So one thing is that everything is fulfilled with you, and you have no need to want anything because everything is there.
Also, I want to chip in something about the whole ego thing
Get
is
yourself on camera, Matthew.
Yeah, but it scares people.
uh
Ooh, look at him all
so
clean shaven.
so the whole thing about ego is just like any other emotion that we have, that there is balance. And there's always has to be a balance when it comes to our emotions because there is a positive and negative side to all emotions, no matter what. Because anger is also the concept of protection too. You know, it's just we just need to learn how to channel that right amount of anger to protect the ones we love. That's what martial arts is there for.
I'm actually on about the awareness part there, because ego is not bad. Ego keeps us going, keeps us alive, and protects us.
Now with ego, ego is there has to be this balance between ego of understanding of what to achieve, because ego gives us that ability to achieve something higher. But having too much ego can also drag us down.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things I was taught in martial arts when I was in Kung Fu, is that ego is the thing that gives us the achievement to achieve our goal. But that's as high you should go.
Work with the ego rather than fight against it. Treat it as a
Yeah.
pet.
You know, you shouldn't be riding on your high horse, because that's an ego problem.
Maybe
Yeah.
if I give another example, then you'll get where I'm going with this, about the awareness part of it. I don't know if you've ever done it yourself. I haven't, but what do they call it? Astral projection, where you can be raised above your body and see yourself, kind of thing. So that's your higher self, I presume. Yeah, you
Nope.
aware of that?
Nope.
No, you've not. You must have heard of astral projection.
Everybody has the ability to basically your energy to leave their body.
Uh huh.
The, the most time that your energy leaves your body is when you're in the vision state, where your energy will actually go to places that you physically can't go, but they can go. So when you go to these dimensions, your energy is there. But because your energy there, you're there. Your body's not there, but everything else is there. So
And
that
that's
you
the
can be,
awareness bit I was on about. You see, is
yeah,
that awareness has left the body and gone somewhere, hasn't
yeah.
it? Whether that's in a vision or astral projection. So, I don't know where I'm going now. Yes. So, what happens to our awareness then? This higher self, the bit that can go to other dimensions when we're asleep, and also if we're I can't say it now, anesthetized. I can't say it. If we're put under with medication, anesthetized. Is that right?
Well, the whole idea is how do you put the mind to sleep? Because the mind basically is the one that the mind doesn't want you to believe in certain things that happen. Now, that's quite a few experiences with out of the body while I was awake. I was scheduled to do a talk in one of the towns over in England. And I'm sitting there and I said, you know, I was told that I'm supposed to be at this particular place in this particular town. I said, I don't even know where the hell it is. And all of a sudden, I stop and I'm where I'm supposed to be, not knowing no. But when I walk in to the place where I'm supposed to be talking, the lady looked at me, oh, you're back again. I said, what? She said, well, you were here just half an hour ago looking around and then you left. So, out of body experience where she actually physically seen me, but I wasn't there. I was driving and end up being where exactly I was supposed to be. And then the other time, sitting there, we're trying to find a place, and I asked Matthew, I said, I don't even know where you're going. He says, turn right, go straight, turn left, go straight, turn right. Guess what? We're right in front of the building we're supposed to be at. He didn't have no idea, but he knew exactly because his body had already seen where we were supposed to go. So we've all had experiences like that, but sometimes we don't want to believe it because we're told not to. Because the mind, like I said, it's like they always say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And I always say, waste it, waste it.
All my outer body experience have been in like in the vision state. So this is the best way to explain for me. And yes, I had a outer body experience when it came to dealing with a certain type of herb. Okay, and it's called salvia. Okay, and
Oh,
how
Salvia Divinorum.
yes, how
Yeah.
salvia works, because I've actually experimented with it and stuff like that. And being awake with an outer body experience through salvia is so different because it feels like you're fading from your body. And the reason why is because the chemical was a dextatorium or something like that. There's a certain type of chemical that actually numbs the mind and body. Okay. And this is very important to understand. This is why you have to be in the right type of environment. Like you shouldn't be driving with this shit. Okay.
No.
Because like I said, it's putting your mind and body literally numbing it down to sleep mode. Okay. So that means your functions or anything that's going on in your body is not going, you know, be active. Where my dad has a natural outer body experience where his body is still awake. His mind is still aware, but his spirit is gone.
Yeah. See, one of the things that people, I don't know if they realize it yet. This is why the CD is so important. The CD actually trains you to allow you and allow your mind to go to sleep so that you can have a body out of the body experience. So once the CD really, really works on you and you do go to sleep, you're not asleep. But then they go and they see themselves floating above their body. And then they go through a doorway. I always tell them, remember the doorway because that's your doorway. And when that CD actually really gets to them and works, they will have an out of the body experience. And it'll take them into different dimensions so that they can actually see what is inside their subconscious that's holding them back because they don't connect. So the whole CD is to teach them how to connect, how to basically realize what's holding them back in their subconscious. And it's meant to put your mind to sleep so that anytime you need to find out some answers to questions, boom, you have an out of body experience. And you could actually be driving down a highway and have one, but you're protected.
Oh.
Yeah. Because like I said, your mind is like I said, natural outer body experience is basically, like I said, your mind is aware, your body is awake, but your spirit's not there.
Yeah, like when you're driving down the road, your mind's still there, so you can keep safe on the road driving with what your physical energy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still aware.
You ever seen Click with Adam Sandler with Universal Remote?
I'm aware of it, but I never watched it. I'm not a big fan of it.
Every time he hits skip or forward, he literally goes into autopilot.
Let me just say one thing. For viewers or listeners, when Wananichi mentions the CD, that's the guided meditation that you can get and download by going to humancircleoflife.com. Carry on. So
when you have a natural outer body experience, your body goes into autopilot. Like I said, it's just like Click.
Is it because of a level of consciousness then that this awareness, because I keep trying to bring it back to awareness, when you're asleep, your higher self still exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're anesthetized, your higher self still exists. What is your higher self doing in those situations?
Exploring, understanding, learning. Our spirit, that saying, a free spirit literally means a free spirit can do whatever it wants to do.
But why are we not aware of that? Because without going into the craziness of dreams and visions, the bits that we don't remember, like if you passed out because you've drank too much or taken too many drugs, or whether that's legal or illegal, whatever, the consciousness, the awareness is gone, hasn't it?
The best way to explain that is even outer body experience. The key word is there. It's literally right there in the name. It's called experience.
Yeah, but we've covered that. What's happening to awareness when we're asleep or anesthetized or passed out?
That's the whole point, is that we need experience. Without experience, how are we going to understand how to do this? And it's like saying that you can teach someone how to build a house and gain some experience compared to someone who built a house by themselves, because they can learn from their mistakes.
But you're still not answering my question. I get that, like, how you can get to out-of-body experiences, but what is your higher self doing when you're passed out or asleep?
Well, the whole situation comes down to when you look at the higher self, that's one of the things that human beings have forgotten how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, I really don't say too much, but that's why that CD is so important, because we may try to get to the higher self, but until we learn to find out who we are, until we find out our connection within the circle, within the sacred hoop, then we don't get to that higher self. So the whole situation comes down to the fact that the tools are there, but if you don't use the tools, it's like saying you're a carpenter and here's all your tools, and they tell you to build a house, but you don't use the tools to build a house.
So would that be like then? I'm a big fan of Professor Hawkins. Because your consciousness is not of the high enough scale, that's why your awareness cannot get to those, connect with your higher self. And so that's why when we're passed out, we're not aware.
When we look at, okay, let's say Kundalini, how many levels are there according to the teachings of Kundalini? Your chakras. How many chakras did he talk about?
Is it 7 or 9 normally? But I've heard since
Yeah.
114 or something.
Well, there's
112.
17, well, 14 because I told you.
All right.
But actually, there are more than that. But they teach you only 7. There's actually 15. And when you get to that 15, all knowledge is revealed. When I was in my vision, they asked me if I wanted to go to the number 15. I said, hell no. I don't want the responsibility that number 15 carries. So again, you're a lot of times, because you don't quite understand the whole picture, you sometimes refuse things that are meant to be for you. It's just like when I was offered the 5 sacred bundles, I refused them. And now I finally realized that I should have accepted those 5 bundles because it was for the Indigenous people. At that particular time, I understood that the Indigenous people were only Native people. Then I found out it's anybody that basically walked the Indigenous pathway or Indigenous. So it has nothing to do with cultures. It has to do with human beings. So now I'm sitting there kicking myself, saying I should have accepted them.
Is it too late now then?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've been asking to see if they'll bring them back. So just have to see what happens in the future.
All right. Like I was trying to say earlier about experience, is that one of the things that sucks about experience is that, and this is one of the things that our spirits actually understands, and that's why they go through this type of understanding of how to travel through dimensions. And one of the things that we need with experience is time. And that means that how many times that spirit has to come back to this world, that means they're going to continuously learn with this knowledge to continue it forward for those who need to learn this knowledge.
It's
So
like we're having
without-
two different conversations here, because
Yeah.
I agree what you're saying with, but I'm on about awareness, the actual awareness. So is the higher self, whilst we're asleep or passed out, just watching over us then or something?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's part that's part of the of that reason, okay? But most of it, like I said, it's because we're free spirits, and the longer our spirit lives on in this universe, the more experience we're going to understand how to travel more further.
Yeah.
Dimensions, okay? How, like for instance, do you feel like you're an old spirit?
I don't know.
Like, because the older you are, the more experience you're going to understand how to project yourself out of your body.
I always say an old spirit is someone that didn't make it, so they keep coming back, coming back, coming back.
And what's the one thing that every person who has gone, who's an old spirit, is trying to teach the universe? What is that one key? Meditation. That's what that CD is all about. It is about meditation, to put your body into that state of mind to gain that experience.
Well, not so much state of mind. It's basically to get rid of the mind.
Well, you still have to be in that state of mind appointed to sleep.
I always
still.
say state of energy, state of life force energy.
But no, it's just saying putting your mind to sleep.
Yeah.
State of mind of putting your mind to sleep still.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes left. I still got to try and get a point my point across. Awareness. I mean, some people will think of awareness just literally what we can see and hear, or what we're experiencing. But you can experience with your eyes closed, not here, being a flotation tank, and you're still having an experience, aren't you? There is an awareness there. So that's all I was trying to get was, why is it that what happens to that awareness when we're asleep?
Well, the whole idea is that, okay, you take a chair and you see the chair. Is that chair real? Until you go and you touch it, you sit it, then it becomes real. Well, and when you're in the vision state, you can actually see, you can feel and everything, but you can't do it while you're in physical. You have to be in your energy state before you'll be able to see things, feel things, and understand things, so that you can bring that knowledge back with you, so that when you come and you wake up, you have that knowledge.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap it there. This has been a really interesting episode, I think. Pity no one joined us live to ask questions, but anybody listening or watching on the replay that's edited, come and join us next Monday. We will be live and we will take questions. And it was nice not to talk about Donald Trump for a change.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Thanks for listening to Straight Talk Sacred Pathway. If you'd like to ask one Anichi a question, you can email me at stuart@realityresponsibility.com. The link will be in the description. And don't forget, you can download a powerful guided meditation for free at humancircleoflife.com.